in some religions, they believe it's wrong to pray to a picture or a statue. But if God is everywhere, then why do we pray to pictures or statues?
You see, there was a period where Hinduism was vilified or shown in a poor light, saying you are idolatrous. You believe in idols, you worship idols. There's in fact some temples still say, come on, I show you the idols. I say, don't use that word. Do you know what idols mean? Or this? Idols mean worshipping objects as something special. So you take a piece of stone and say, this is idol, this is worship, it's sacred, it's got magical powers. That's called idolatry. This is a horrendous idea, very outdated idea. Giving sacred status to objects. This is called idolatry. And this is how Hinduism is vilified. You are idolatrous. I have great fun when I have got people from other religion, especially the Jews. They say, Jay, we can't come in the temple. They've written in our religion, thou shalt not make graven images of thy God, and you have made so many, we can't come near, so we meet you downstairs. I say, fair enough, you stay here, I'll go. What is all this? Let me just tidy up. You see, from the Sanskrit term, look, simple Sanskrit term called prati, we derive two words, pratika and pratima. Prati means going towards. Pratika means a symbol that will take me towards God. Pratima means an image that will lead me to God. So we are very clear. We say we are using imagery or symbols to lead us to God. Definitely defined as pratima and pratika from the Sanskrit word prati. So we know what we are talking about. We are using these particular tools to relate to the infinite God. And this tool is very finite, but so what? We are using a finite tool to relate to the infinite God. We are not apologetic about it at all. As long as we operate in the finite world, look, I am finite, I am not infinite, you won't see me anymore here. As long as I am finite, I have got mental faculty which are finite, I will use finite tools to talk about the infinite. We are not apologetic, everybody does it and we do it knowingly. But still can't be God there. Look, we do it in every field. And this one example I used again, you can use it. Especially with people who challenge you to use this example. You say, okay, you know maths? You say, yes, I know maths. Can you put infinity on the board? They say, yeah, easy. They'll take a chalk and do a little squiggle for you. They say, that's infinite. I say, that's not infinite. You can use this example. There's number 8 that had too much to drink last night. It's toppled over. That's certainly not infinite. That's very fine. It's only this much, number 8, that's toppled over. You can't call it infinite. Oh no, Mr. Lakhani, that's infinite. That's not infinite. See what you have done. You've given me a finite symbol to relate to the idea of infinity. And you are happy with it. Without it, your maths will collapse in 2 ticks. You need it, otherwise you can't do maths. Oh yes, we can't do it. See, even in the most material sciences, maths, you are using this symbolism to relate to the infinite. Why can't we do it in the name of religion? The only difference between us and you is we are doing it knowingly, you are doing it unknowingly. If I go into a church and they say, oh yeah, this is a sacred place, now we all kneel in front. What do you kneel in front of? A wooden cross. I said, there's a piece of wood here. Why do you kneel in front of it? No, it's not a wooden cross, it's the symbol of Christ. You're doing it, don't you see? You're bowing down to a piece of wood. That's also idolatry.
In Hinduism, we believe in reincarnation, like we should be, if we do something wrong in this life, we get punished in the next lives. Or if we do something good in our past lives, we get something good happen to us in this life. But why can't, say if we do something bad in this life, why don't we get punished in this life so that we're taught something and that we learn from our mistakes and that we can teach others?
Let me touch on the deeper aspect of the idea of reincarnation. I'll try and do a short job of it, otherwise other questions won't have a chance to come in. You see, this is the simplistic version that, okay, I do good and good things happen. That's kind of very simplistic. What do you mean by good? Because everything you do is all mixed really when you think about it. It's more complex than just kind of simplistic translation. And how does the good or bad things catch up with me in the next life? First of all, let me take away one misunderstanding. In some bhajans they'll tell you, if you make a mistake, the human body is only available once in a while. Otherwise, 98 million lifetimes you go. So if you make a mistake in the human body, you become a bacteria again. Start from beginning. I tell you, highly unlikely. Once you've gone into the human frame, you acquired one human frame in this life, and you begin to love this idea of philosophy, religion, higher ideas, your mental makeup is becoming very mature. It is highly unlikely that you are going to become an animal or go down. But of course, when I meet some of my friends of other religion, they say, we know why you are vegetarian. You're not eating the cow because that was your mummy in your last life. I say, oh, go away, go away. This is oversimplistic. So you don't become animal that easily. But there are some in our community who are so brutal. When you look at life, you say, okay, they must have been recently promoted from the animal kingdom into the human kingdom. And if they continue to show this brutality while they are in the human kingdom, they'll end up again in the animal kingdom. There's a kind of movement there between animal and human. But for a few people, majority human beings, once you're human, you stay human. How do good things and bad things catch up with you? Let me give you more deeper understanding, because this is too simplistic. It's not something is kind of keeping a track of you and saying you were good in this time, you got an account here. That's not Hinduism. And now, okay, you go there and we'll repay you for what good you did. It doesn't work like that. Do you know how it works? Whatever good you do leaves certain impression in your mind. Isn't it true? Suppose you did well, you did good somehow. It leaves a nice warm feeling in your conscious, in your mind. That becomes part of your character. And the character that you mold through so many activities, doing good, bad, mixture, it's always mixture normally, that becomes part and parcel of your baggage, your character. That stays in your mind, in the unconscious. Everything good and bad mix you done stays there. You know, when that little girl your little sister was crying and nobody is watching, you give her a whack, but you saw it and you know it. It stays with you. So nobody keeping record that you beat up your little sister when nobody is watching, but you have been keeping record. It's become part of your character. So the character you develop in one life is your asset. That's the only thing that comes with you from one life to another life. That is why we pay tremendous emphasis in developing a strong, upright, powerful character. That's the only thing that comes from one life to another life. The character we have molded for ourselves through so many experiences, through so many activities, that has become our part and parcel of our being. So when we are reborn, that character begins to show up. Straight away from the little cot, the little child comes out, he's such a lovely, sweet little sweeto, such a nice chap. Or he's a real destructive, little chap is a destroyer. He's all destroyer, he's come to demolish everything. So you can see the character right from the cot. Haven't you noticed? Same family, same brother, sister, vast variation in the character. Where did it come from? Not from your genes, it came from your past life and the character you molded for yourself. That begins to reveal itself. So if you've been a person who's been very focused in this life, that focusing ability is revealed at a very young age. So at a very young age, you are a child prodigy and you start again progressing from where you left off. So this gives you a foundation to start your new life. This is how it catches up with you. It is in you. It begins to flourish. It begins to germinate and show up as your character. And you continue your progress, good or bad or mixed, from where you left off. This is how it catches up. So it's not some simplistic mechanism that's looking for you. So where are you? Where are you? I hit you. You are carrying the seeds of your own benefit or for your destruction. Because that's your character, so it shows up and you pay a price. Suppose there's a person who's a horrible monster this life. And he was murdering people, he never got caught. Fair enough. When he dies, he's reborn, the same character. It starts very early. But here he gets caught up and gets whacked. He gets put in prison for life. So he didn't pay a price in first life, but in second life, because the character is same, he gets thumped. So it catches up in that particular mode. This is a more mature way to looking at the idea of reincarnation and how it catches up with us.
I was just wondering whether all the events that occur in our lives, is it down, has been written for us by God's plan, or is it our own decisions that influence our lives and what events occur in our lives?
If you become a fatalist means everything is fixed, I have no power over it, and I have to just sit down and die and let things kind of hit me because I have no control on what is going to happen to me. This is called fatalism. If many Hindus become fatalist, because it's written law of karma is catching up, oh dear, let me, I give silly example, but I won't do that, they've done enough. But suppose you be a fatalist, does it agree with Hindu? No! Comes the teaching of Vivekananda. He said, don't you know? You have opportunity to change your future. If somebody says written in the stars or in the planets that this will happen to you, then say I'm going to move the planets. I'll shift the planets. How dare they interfere in my life? Don't play dead against material forces. Stand up and fight. So if things go against you, they gang up against, oh look, not because you are a bad man or a bad person. Things have a habit of ganging up. Look, the whole creation is like that. Things gang up. What do? You say, let it happen. No, don't you dare. Vivekananda will get angry. I will get, and I say, look, what are you doing? You are not understood your religion. Your religion, roll up your sleeves and come fighting. Alter your choose your destiny, mold your destiny. You are in charge of your destiny. Even though all the forces, try and act against you to put you down, you fight, come fighting. So what? Come fighting. So the idea is, even though things sometimes gang up against you, and we all of us have that experience, things sometimes go wrong. So what? Alert yourself, assert yourself, sit up and take notice and react and fight back. You see, this is the message of man-making, woman-making religion, a message of power, empowering humanity to chart its own destiny, to not fall dead. Again, you see, you may think, oh, Dilip Uncle is making it look, it's part of your biology. You know how I started? I said it is very crucial to define a living organism as that interacts with its environment. You know what's the unique feature about this is how you define a living thing, and if you study biology at even a high level, I'll give you the simple answer. If you've got a living organism and you prod it, if it's a dead thing, you can direct it and push it. If it's a living thing, it will react to you. It will not like being prodded, it will go ouch and react. This is the sign of life. You don't play, if you like, play along with the forces of nature and allow them to overpower you. You stand up against this, I am bigger than you. This is the whole story of humanity. Standing up against the forces of nature and asserting ourselves, conquering nature external and internal, and revealing our own divinity. This is what religion teaches. This is the new definition of religion. Do you think this I'm just making up? Look. See, I mean, this thing, electricity, it was in the clouds. And in the ancient days, this used to come out of the clouds from time to time as a thunderbolt and go boom, and we go, God sending messages. We used to bow down. The old man, the old Stone Age man. We said nothing doing. He's not going to prod me. I'm going to capture it, put it in wires, and light up my house. Fighting nature is inherent in all of us. Don't you dare lose heart. Stand up. Take on the challenge.
In the history of the world, a lot of blood has been spilt in the name of religion, and a lot of political conflict has arisen due to religious divisions. So wouldn't the world be a better place if there was just one religion or even no religion at all?
He's echoing what every modern youth is actually thinking. He's echoing this. When I go to schools and we ask the youngsters, now here, how many are theists, meaning believe in God? How many atheists, means there's no God, like Richard Dawkins? And how many are agnostic, we have no clue? This thing is so airy-fairy, we don't know. Majority now in United Kingdom, the research now, majority fall into the second camp. This is their challenge. They say, it appears to us that religions are not a resolution of human condition, they are the problem. They are not a solution, they are the problem. Best to snuff them all out. Snuff them out. In fact, if you look at the world today, just look at the world today. All the conflict you see around the globe, if you look at the depth, the deeper aspect, it's all religiously oriented. Almost all the conflict, Middle East, wherever you look, always religion seems to be right at the heart of it, everywhere. So religions seem to be the real cause of problem, the real cause of, real issue for humanity. Why don't we snuff them out? Try to say one will win over the other means you will have more bloodshed. Try and imagine trying to do that. 2 billion Christians, 1 billion Muslims, and God help the rest of us. And they all want to score points saying, I am right and you are wrong. And you see, this exclusivistic kind of ideology that I am right and you are wrong is itself divisive to a great extent. Do you know how it's divisive? It doesn't stop by saying only Christian. Then within Christian you say, oh no, but then there is the Catholic and the Protestant. Oh, then there's the Methodist and this and Evangelical. And the whole thing starts, there are 190 denominations in Christianity. So they'll start fighting amongst themselves. It's only that because they've got a common enemy, people of other religion, they've become quiet now. So they're fighting amongst themselves. So what is the resolution? Should we snuff out religions? Is their sell-by date gone? Kick them all out? Think about it. Look, this religion we come from allows us to challenge religion. And say, if it is the case, this is Swami Vivekananda, if you feel this become counterproductive, spit it out. We would say that. If you think it's counterproductive, spit it out. You see, the resolution lies this. If you look at the history of mankind, individually, when single religions were visible in certain locality, in the certain kind of periods of history, they were cohesive. That brought about a lot of philanthropic activity. Overall, they were positive because they're talking about learning to live for others and helping others and charity. They were positive. as the world has become a global village and there are so many conflicting claims to spirituality, they don't sit well together, we have friction in the name of religion. That's what is becoming visible. How will it be resolved? That's what I said in the previous question. The only religion, look, I am being very arrogant, let me be arrogant once in a while. The only religion that offers a reconciliation between different worldviews about different religions, different religious worldviews as well as science-oriented worldview, rationally founded science, the only religion that makes an attempt not just to say let's put them together, clutter them together, they don't fit, like nothing fits, but doesn't mean just hold them together, say be nice to each other, be nice, don't hit each other, it won't work. You need to fit the jigsaw puzzle and produce a bigger picture, a much cohesive picture, naturally cohesive. And that exercise and that, if you like, responsibility lies with you. It is your religion that holds that answer of reconciliation. Can you say reconciliation? How can they be reconciled? So vastly different. They talk such different things. Like Buddhism, there is no God to start with. How do you can reconcile? And in this century, two things will happen. Look, I'll be very honest. Either this broad idea of Hinduism called pluralism, there are many ways to relate to the idea of spirit, not even call him God. Either this will become very evident now and used in society to bring natural cohesion and reconciliation, or it will be invoked and we will be singing the glories of pluralism that is heart of Hinduism in days to come after we become more bloodied. Two options only. I tell this to the Archbishop of Canterbury. I say you got two options. Either adopt this Hindu idea of pluralism now and stop bloodshed, or we'll wait. The world will become more bloodied and then you'll be singing the glories of pluralism. You got two choices, no third choice. And the third choice is all the religions be snuffed out, let the humanists win. Be open to that. This is the world that we face. And you see why you are so crucial. Provided you understand the depth of Hinduism, you are the carriers, the ambassador of this broad vision which can bring about natural cohesion. Look, we are not here to score points for Hinduism. We are saying, look, we have this, use it, take it away. Don't say it's Hindu, take it, use it. Bring reconciliation, take it away. We are not selling copyrights. Yours, incorporate it within your system. Look, when I talk like this to the chaplain of Surrey University, you know what he said after listening to me? Because I really take them to talk, I really don't let them off, I'm really rough. They say, Jay, I'm a 70% pluralist. I say, okay, you pass. Don't worry, that's enough for me. I won't rub it in any further. This is happening genuinely all around. I meet so many Christians who relate to pluralism. They say, but our system, the doctrines, they have to be pulled apart because you've been saying exclusivity and you are challenging us, you are making us pull out. I say, if you don't do it, somebody else is going to come and thump you. Let me do a funny story. Once I was dealing with some Christian ministers, this can be broadcast. Because the Christians don't thump me, that's why. Once I was dealing with some Christian ministers, I said, look, why do you send people to our poor, kind of ignorant people in India and try and convert them? You're creating a rift in our society. You're hurting us, harming us. Why do you want to go and convert, evangelize? Stop it. We've got our own religion. Give them something else. Don't give them religion. They've got it. He said, Jay, he was nice fellow, nice cozy fellow. No, Jay, we are not trying to convert. We're just spreading the good news. The language they use, we are spreading the good news. Christ is born and Christ died for it all. So, okay. I said, you want to spread the good news? I picked this up from Vivekananda, this lovely stuff. He said, you want to spread the good news? Yes. I said, there is this prophet of Arabia waving his arms frantically, saying that he has got the latest edition of news. And you know what they say about news? All news is no news. So why don't you pick up Islam and change? Oh, Jay, we didn't mean like that. But you're talking about news and he's got a latest edition of news. And all news is no news. So your Bible is out. And they shuddered. You see, I'm telling them how exclusivism can never win. Because if I'm here out to kill or convert, there are others who want to do the same to me. If I go out trying to convert others, there are others snapping at my heels to try and convert me at the same time. I've left myself open for attack. You need to remove this exclusivist agenda. Recognize this broad vision of pluralism. That's the way out.
During the time of Navratri and going to Garba, I've witnessed people who claim that they've been possessed by God and they dance around and claim that they've been the chosen one. But in Hinduism, everyone is a part of God, so isn't this going against the religion?
Idea that something special about us called the spirit that underpins all of us is central in the Hindu religion. There's something very unique and different which is not material, not mental, not intellectual. That is my essential nature, something different that I am. And that is what everybody is. This is called Atman. So we are all basically divine. We are all spark of the divine, but we misbehave. That's part of the play. But we are all the spark of the divine. This is what Hinduism teaches. But you see, we have difficulty in relating to this spirit and say, what is it? Because it's so abstract. And the second best thing we have in the Hindu tradition is we've got incarnations. We've got, if you like, just imagine, this spirit is so abstract that we'll never be able to grab or grasp, or however intellectual we are. Not because we are kind of failing, it is so subtle, so sweet, even intellect is too crude to capture it. Not because it's so fuzzy. It is so sweet and deep that intellect saying, I can't grab it. It's that's your nature, spirit. This is what your religion says, but it's difficult, Dilip uncle, I can't get to it around my, oh, but don't worry, you got a second choice. You've got the avatars, the incarnations. Here, the spirit takes on a human form and comes and interacts with you. That's why we love Ram, that's why we love Krishna, that's why I love Vivekananda. Here is the spirit taking on a body, a human form, coming in front of us and saying, now do you relate to me? You are searching for that abstraction. Look, I am material, you can touch me even. You can pinch me, I am here. This is the second best we have. We can see the spirit through this great manifestation, this great avatar, so these great personalities, the super personalities of ancient and modern India. So we are getting better. Does it stop there? No. This is what this little girl asked. First, you were struggling with the idea of spirit as abstraction, then you were this incarnation, at least I can do it. Yes, Ram and Krishna, I love them. Vivekananda, okay, Dilip uncle, we let you off, you can love him. But then this thing becomes more generalized. Why should I say that the spirit only becomes visible as Vivekananda when I have all of you sitting in front of me? Each and every one of you is nothing but the spark of the spirit. The same thing, the same thing lighting each and every one of you here. So why should I be worried about how to relate to the abstraction? I see it in front of me as humanity. And seeing God in man and serving God in man and interacting with God, with man as God, is what your religion teaches. So you may start off saying too abstract, less abstract with Ram and Krishna and all these great avatars and the saints. No, become more generalized. Don't stop there. Even what you call ordinary, there's nothing ordinary about anybody here. Everybody is extraordinary. It's the spirit shining. When I begin to see God in man, when I see the same thing that I was searching for here, and in so many forms, not just one Vivekananda, but in so many forms, I'm overwhelmed. I say, oh dear, I'm having fun. I'm playing with my Lord. I'm playing with my God here. So, extending the dignity, not just living it to the saintly personalities, but to the ordinary man, ordinary human, ordinary men and women, dignify them, give them that treatment. And you see, I'm talking like that, you may think it sounds very poetic. When this Vivekananda, was in the West, and if he saw any women or girls or anything, he was very playful. And you look at a girl, and you say, mother. And you know what happened to the poor girl? Because you should never, if you're in front of a God man, when he uses the word mother, he's saying the mother goddess in you, you are in trouble. So that little girl would get charged up. This used to happen. She would get charged up, dance about, we have flowing hair and wonder about like the mother goddess for a few hours. You have to call her down, stop it. You see, you charged them up, you dignified them, you left them up. For the first time they recognized, because this man saw it in your eyes, saw it in you, and he lifted you up. He used to do that day and night. This man was dangerous. Imagine he lifts you up and shows you your dignity, gives you your true dignity, divinifies you. It used to happen regularly with him. Imagine how lucky would be the people who met him, who came across him, who sat with him. How lucky, how lucky.